All right, we are live for our January collective team call. I'm gonna, as usual, just pull us up on Facebook here so I can watch for comments strolling in. Okay, cool. So we are up, we are here, and I am super excited to welcome our diamond guest for this month's team call. So I am joined here by our guest, Rebecca Peterson. She is coming in from North Carolina. So drop your locations here in the comment. Let Rebecca know where you're coming in from. Y'all know I'm coming in from the Niagara Falls, Canadian area here, and Rebecca's coming in from North Carolina, and we've got lots of people coming in from all over the world. I know someone said, "Oh, I'm gonna wake up. It's 2 a.m. my time, but I want to have this call." We're like, "Okay,
awesome, love it."
Who needs to catch when you can wake up that early?" But so I wanted to introduce you guys to Rebecca. So Rebecca is, I'm going to read you her bio. She's been married to the love of her life. She homeschools 9 amazing kiddos. So for those of us that are like, I have one 5-year-old in this online schooling and I don't know how to manage life. Yes, she has 9 and she's been homeschooling all of those 9 kids. She is a retired home birth midwife, which I love because I just had my very own home birth this time around with a midwife, and it was beautiful. And she is the co-creator and co-owner of My Event Cafe, which she is going to be talking to us all about. She has a passion for all things moms and babies and loves helping families find natural solutions for her health. She started her doTERRA business in 2015, so we're on the same wavelength there, so did I, and hit diamond for the first time in November 2018. So welcome, Rebecca. We are so excited to have you here.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here. I love it. You've created such a beautiful community. I love it.
Yes. Very, very blessed to have this space where we can share. So let me just make sure I also know I can see that I have captions on my end, and I just want to make sure that your video is going to also pull up some captions, but I don't know if it is. But
do you need me to do something on my end?
I don't know if you'd have to enable captions on your end. I don't know if that's why mine are showing up, is that it's enabled, but maybe we can go back later and fix it.
There's a place to do that, but if there is one, I'm definitely happy to do it, but I'm not.
I have no idea. Mine kind of show up automatically, so I just thought it was an automatic thing. So anyway, well, hopefully, oh my gosh, Lillian's watching from Kenya.
Wow, that's awesome.
The other side of the world.
Yeah, that's great. That's dedication right there. I love it.
I love it. All right, so Rebecca, let's start off this interview today with a few of those burning questions that I'm sure everybody wants to know. So first off, I want to know, what is your first tip for our collective here on some of those best practices or your best golden nuggets for how you achieved the rank diamond? So what is your first tip for our team here?
So my first tip, and it goes so right along with your live on the 15th, like I feel like this is kind of the starting point, is you really have to set intention for what you want from this business. Because I see a lot of people get into doTERRA and they get super excited about, I want to be diamond and I want to make this income. And that's awesome. It is such an amazing potential, and it's fabulous to go up through the ranks. But you have to really have the intention that this is a business if you want to do that. And see, I see so many people that want that outcome, but then they are kind of treating it like a hobby. And so I think setting that intention, and I love what you said about is this my one thing? For me, I could really relate to your story, and that my first 3 years of the business, that was the one and only thing. I mean, and that was a decision I made. It was super important that we build to a certain income fairly quickly. quickly. And so I made it my one thing, and everything worked around my doTERRA business, right? And so I see a lot of people that want to kind of fill doTERRA into the gaps of their life when they have time, and that's wonderful. And if that's your intention, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you really want to build this to a diamond rank, then you have to set your intention that that's what you're going to do, and you kind of have to let life work around your business a little bit. And it's definitely worth the sacrifice. But that would be my one thing I feel like people need to do from the very, very beginning. And then once you've set that intention, if you're like, hey, I want to do this as a business, then treat it like a business. Like, use your dough planner, you guys, because it's amazing, right? Use your dough planner and time block that time, and make sure that you're spending the time on those pipes, right? That preparing, inviting, presenting, enrolling, and supporting. And so do it with intention, do it every day, time block those days. And learn how to network with people as part of your preparation. I really, really love the Elise Shedeby calls for this. Like, setting that intention, this is a business, which means I'm going to time block it off in my planner every single day. And I love following the Elise Shedeby method of building for that.
So as a mom of 9 children, which you homeschooled, please do tell us, how the heck did you make doTERRA your one thing? In those 3 years that you scaled from 0 to diamond, how did you make doTERRA your one thing when you had 9 children and you were homeschooling all of them? What did that even look like?
Right. A little bit of crazy, but that's kind of my life all the time. We always have a little crazy going on. To be honest with you, I pulled my kids into it. And so I had to make some hard decisions. And, please hear me when I say this isn't for everybody. Not everybody wants to build hot and heavy like I did. And that is not wrong. Everybody needs to decide what works for their family. But in our case, it was really important that we get to a diamond level income within, a few years. That was our goal. And so we actually brought the kids into it. We switched them from me teaching all of the subjects that I did for years. We've been homeschooling for over 20 years to everything going online. I ended up enrolling them in a really cost-effective, really cheap online program that we could afford, because that was part of our why. We needed to earn money, right? So I didn't want to spend a lot. And that took a lot of the schooling burden off of me. So we made that decision. And then I did spend some time in Diamond Club, which back in the day was pretty intense. And so we brought them in, and every time we would reach a goal in our business, we celebrated as a family. And that was so important, because they were doing things like they were picking up the slack with more chores. They were living on peanut butter and jelly occasionally, right? Don't tell anybody, but we had to make these sacrifices as a family. And so we made it a really big point that anytime we hit a rank in our business, or we hit what we needed in Diamond Club, we celebrated big as a family, whether it was going to a movie or going on a camping trip. We just really spent time celebrating. And I feel like they learned a lot in the course of that. They're learning, how to go after your dreams, how to persevere, how to work hard, how to work together as a family unit, how we all have our own jobs to make this happen. Even though I'm the one out in front of this business, I am not the only one that built this business. My family was definitely a huge piece of that, for sure.
What did that conversation even look like? How did you bring your family into it? Like if some of our planners and team members here are listening to this and they're thinking, that's a great idea. I love the idea of bringing my family in and making the kids feel like they're part of it, making my spouse or my partner feel like they're part of it. How would you even have that conversation so they're excited to want to be brought into the business so that it could work for you?
Yeah, that's a great question. And so honestly, I brought them into my why. One thing that's really important in this business is that you know why you're doing it, and just know that changes. I love how the Lord just continues to grow my why. But when I first started this business, it was very much centered on, we needed more money financially as a family. We wanted to live debt free. I wanted to be able to travel with our kids. And, you can't even go out to eat with 9 kids and it not be $100. So, we didn't get to do all the things a lot of families do, because it's really expensive to do that with a large family. And so my initial why in this business was really very, very motivated by income. And I want to be able to provide sports for the kids and trips. So I brought them into that, and I sat them down and explained, mommy's going to be working really hard the next few years, and our life is going to change. And I love what Dave Ramsey says. And I told them, we're going to live like no one else, so that someday we can live like no one else as a family. And so I kind of laid out my goals and what I wanted, and I let them become a part of the why. What kind of things would you like to do? You know, we had things like Disney cruise on the list, and, you know, I want to be able to play this or do that. And so I let them kind of create their whys too, and have some buy-in in that. And then we just talked about how the roles were going to shift a little bit in our family. And then we celebrate each thing as we go. And that's really hard for me. And my strengths, I struggle. I like to achieve. And so I struggle to step back and say, wow, we did a really great job. I just want to go on to the next goal. But it's really important for the kids to see that we are sacrificing, but look at the progress we're making. And look, I can't tell you in 4 years, 5 years, how much our life has changed as far as what we get to go and do with our kids. It's mind blowing. The difference is night and day. And so they are reaping the fruits of that growth for sure.
I love that. I love that. And that's so important too. And, you know, even when kids are younger, because they may not understand, like I have a almost 5-year-old, right? And then a 5-year-old. So she really doesn't get it, but a 5-year-old does. And and Paisley, my 5-year-old, I've been doing doTERRA since I was pregnant with her. And so she has seen me do this business from day one, and only has known me to be a working from home mom. That's all she's ever known. And her dad, you know, I was able to retire both my husband and I. So my husband came home when she was 7 months old. We both had very successful, you know, 6-figure income corporate careers. And we came home from that to have the family life that we always wanted, never thought we could have without working very, very hard in the corporate field. And so being able to come home from that and having, you know, her be here and her dad be home full time and mom working. Sometimes I get that mom guilt, right? Like sometimes I get that mom guilt because she'll say, you know, I spend a lot of time with daddy, but like I don't spend as much time with you. And I just want to spend as time with you. And I'm like, and it's because she sees me working, even though I work less than what I would if I had to go out to a corporate job. The fact that she sees me working, but she can play with dad all day, you know, makes me feel that, oh, like I know I do want to spend time with you, but sometimes mommy's got to be in her office. Sometimes mommy's got to do some things. And, you know, and I think that's where it's key, that it's like explaining to them and having and sharing that vision with your children, and sharing that vision of, you know, this is the reason mommy works. This is what you have because mommy works. And so, you know, I have her filling samples or putting stickers on sample bottles, or, you know, even when I do my mail outs, she can put my return address label on them. And, you know, and she knows everything about the oils. She has her oils. She loves using her oils. And I think that is one of those big pieces, is having them understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, what they're going to get out of it. So that you don't walk away feeling like, oh, you know, are they feeling that we're being stretched right now? So I love that. I think that's phenomenal. And having the idea that you've done that with 9 children, I think is really, really telling. So why don't we move on to your second tip? What is the second tip you wanted to leave with our collective today?
My second tip is probably the one I'm the most passionate about, to be honest with you. And I mentioned before that my why has changed, and God has really used doTERRA to show me how much I really want to help people be all God created them to be. So my second tip is personal development. Do not let that fall to the wayside in your business. To me, it makes or breaks your business, to be honest with you. You know, you hear the saying, your business only grows as fast as you do. And that is so very true. When I first started doTERRA, I kind of rolled my eyes and said, I'm not going to do personal development. But I realized real quick that if I wanted my business to grow, I had to grow as a person. And to be honest with you, that's my favorite part of this business. You know, I sit here at the diamond level now, and it's changed our family. It's changed everything in our lives financially. It's changed the future of our children's lives. But if you were to ask me, like, what's your favorite part of what's happened in your life in the last 5 years, it's the person that I've become. I'm a completely different person than I was 5 years ago. And it's so important to really just plug into that personal development, because we all have those voices in our head, right? Even at Diamond, and I'm sure Blue Diamond and Presidential, that tells us we're not enough, or we're not able, or we're too afraid to move forward. And so taking that 10 to 15 minutes every day, time block that. My team knows, like, number one thing we're going to talk about on mentoring is how, you know, are you sticking to your time blocking of personal development? Because that growth in who you are as a person is so important. And that mindset, right? Like, we can wake up every day and say things like, oh, well, nobody's going to want to buy a product today. Or we can wake up and say, hey, I get to serve people today, and there are people out there waiting on me. And that to me is all of personal development, changing those little mindsets. Nobody's going to want to do the business with me. Or we can wake up saying, oh my gosh, this is the best business ever, because it is. We get to help people while growing our business. Of course, there's people that want to do this business with me, right? So definitely personal development. Make sure you guys, you are putting that time block that into your dough planner every day, 10 to 15 minutes minimum.
And what kind of things would you say you love doing for personal development, or recommending for your team to do for personal development? What might that look like? Because maybe some people are thinking, oh, what's personal development? Does that mean calling a therapist? Like, what does that look like?
No.
That might be it. So,
right. With my team, we have several things, and actually part of that's going to flow into my number 3 tip. So I won't dive into that yet. But the first thing that really kind of struck me with personal development is reading, right? So I'm an avid reader. I love to read. Some people love to listen to podcasts. People like Brene Brown. There's tons of podcasts out there you can listen to. If you read, just grab the book. The 4-year career probably was the first introduction to my mindset being shifted, because I never realized, and I'm sure I was just this naive person that didn't have a clue. I never realized that you could actually create residual income. Like, the average person can start with 0. I started with nothing and build a residual income where I could literally walk away from my business for a month and my income would still grow, right? I didn't know that even existed. And so the 4-year career was the first personal development book I read, and it expanded my mind to the possibilities. And then I love The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. Every time I come up in a business and I'm stuck and I feel like I'm not moving forward, I always know, oh, I've hit the glass ceiling. What is telling me that I can't move forward? What limiting belief do I need to deal with? And then, of course, Unlink Your Strengths by Eddie Villa is the bomb. But anytime that you can spend just reading some personal growth books, plugging into some great podcasts to just really help you deal with that mindset and really just develop yourself into who God did create you to be.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. I love it. Yeah, that part's so important, right? Because there's so many things that we can get stuck with, and we can go down the spiral.
Yes.
And especially social media, right? We get on social media and all of a sudden we're going down that scroll hole. We're starting to compare ourselves to other people. We're starting to compare our journey to other people. I mean, there's people that'll watch this call and they'll compare themselves to, well, these 2 hit diamond and I'm not there yet, and why not? And, and that's where we have to remember that every single one of us has such a unique journey, and nobody has started where you started. No one started where I started, because we were in different places in our lives. We're in different places in our journeys. And it's so important that the more we invest just in ourselves and grow ourselves, then there's no room for comparison, because we realize how much truly, like, we're holding so much power inside of just who we are and what we can create, that there's no room to even be looking left or right. So
I always love, somebody told me in the very beginning, and I kind of rolled my eyes at it, but I believe it's so true now, that doTERRA is really just a personal development company wrapped in oils. The building the business part, you guys, is easy. Do the pipes, stick with the pipes, time block it, do it, learn how to do it effectively. But it's really that growth is what takes your business to new heights.
Yeah, absolutely. So good. All right, roll us into that 3rd tip. What is that 3rd tip you have to give?
You've actually already rolled me right into it. And that 3rd tip is, do not compare yourself to other leaders and other builders. You were created to be authentically awesome and amazing. And so my big tip for all my new builders when I bring them on is, let's be authentically you. We can all learn how to do the pipes. We can learn how to sample. We can learn how to do that all effectively. We're all capable of learning that. But where the magic really happens is when we do it in a way that is authentic to who we are. I love to tell my builders, stay in your zone of genius. Figure out what your zone of genius is and stay in that. And for me personally, I really love to do that with Eddie Villa's Strengths program. If you guys aren't plugged into that, I would be happy to chat more via private message. But when my builders come on with me, the number one thing we do is we go to the Gallup, we take their strengths report, and we get all 34 strengths, and then I plug them into the Unleash Your Strengths community with Eddie Villa. And the reason I do that is because tip number 2 was how important personal development is. But when you do all of your personal growth, living inside of your zone of genius and really doing things, being authentic to who you are, that's the magic, right? That's when you really can connect with people. And, people aren't really buying our product in the beginning, they're buying us. And so we're really selling ourselves. And that's why I feel like it's just so important to be you. And it's so easy to fall into that comparison trap. Like you guys have seen, like I talk with my hands, right? I use all these crazy adjectives like, awesome and wonderful. And that's because I have communication in my top strengths, right? And that's just my energy. But, I got caught in that trap of the beginning of doTERRA is looking at other leaders and feeling like, oh, okay, I've got to be super organized, because I'm not, you guys. I'm probably the most unorganized diamond you would ever know. I've got to be organized. I've got to be quiet. I need to not use my hands. Like all these things I was watching other leaders do. But I'm so thankful that God showed me that he created each one of us to be so amazingly unique. And I need to shine in who he created me to be, because there's people out there waiting on me, just like there's people out there waiting on you, right? And they're going to be attracted to who you are. So don't compare yourselves to others, because you have a tribe of people waiting for you. And so go out there and attract that tribe to you by being you, because you were created to be amazing.
Absolutely. And I know this group hears a lot about the strengths, as I actually work one-on-one with Eddie. So I've done
you can tell them all about his group and how amazing it is.
Oh yeah, they hear it all the time. I was like, it's
perfect.
Yeah, it's so true. It's one of those things that a lot of the times we actually don't realize that we are so unique. We just think we are one human being amongst a sea of human beings, and that we're all here kind of on the same journey, and really we're not. We're all created so different, so uniquely, to be able to bring something to this world to make it better. And so that's definitely one of those things that we want to be able to take seriously, right? We want to take our purpose seriously. We don't want to just show up here and kind of do whatever and then die, right? It's like,
yes, we were created for so much more. We were created for greatness. Yes.
I always tell people, how do you want to live your dash, right? Your dash is,
I love that.
1983, you're okay. I mean, I feel like I'm being so morbid right now talking about death and tombstones, but on one day when your great grandchildren are going to visit your tombstone and it says 1983-2083, how did you live that dash? That's what's the most important, is what happened in between those years when you came to this earth, and then how did you leave it, and who did you impact, and how did you impact it, and that purpose. And so I love that. That is very cool.
There's people for all of us. Like some people are not going to like my loudness. They're going to be turned off by my bigness, right? Like I'm very much a communicator and I love to just woo people over. And so they're not meant for my tribe. They're waiting for somebody else to show up in their authentic self who they can join with. That's going to be perfect for them. There are plenty of people in the world for all of us. And I just feel like we all have this tribe to attract. So let's learn how to be authentically us so that we can attract that tribe.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's 8 billion people on the planet, and it takes about, 800, 900 to go diamond, right? So you're just looking for that little small section of people that are exactly meant for you.
Absolutely.
Okay. So you have co-founded a platform called My Event Cafe. And this is, transforming wellness advocates' business and helping them. And I want you to, and we do have a question here before I miss this. The book you read was 4-Year Career and
The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks, and then the Unleash Your Strengths, Eddie Villa's book, is amazing. If you haven't read it, go do that right away.
Got an audio, and it is fabulous. Fabulous.
Yeah.
We all have very similar top strengths. I've got communication up there. I love it. We're both winning everyone over with our hand gestures and our loud personalities. So
I used to be embarrassed by that, but Eddie has really taught me that's my zone of genius. And the only time I get myself in trouble is when I try to be somebody I was not created to be. Then I get in trouble.
When you try to sit on your hands. That's when you become inauthentic.
Yeah. Not doing that anymore.
All right, so let's talk about My Event Cafe. Let's wrap up our call within this space here, because we know that this is very helpful for our wellness advocates. So let's talk about it. What is My Event Cafe? What inspired you to create this platform, and how is this going to help people's business?
Yeah, so My Event Cafe. It wasn't ever created. We didn't intend for it to be a thing. Really, we created it because I was having issues with my team. If you guys are familiar with Oil Camp in particular, we were running Oil Camp on Facebook, and we started to have, about 2 years ago, a lot of issues with Facebook. A lot of you probably remember they quit auto posting, right? So there was no more auto posting to events. So I was having to go manually post everything. I tried working it in groups, doing my event in groups, but it got all jumbled. People, would get confused about where the posts were. Tried it in units. Nobody was seeing it. Then we started seeing some of our stuff, our events on Facebook get censored, right? They would say it wasn't up to community standards. I don't even know what that is half the time. We were getting blocked. I had coaches getting blocked. So we just started to have a ton of trouble running events, such as Oil Camp or events that you get on the Essential Oil Academy. Any events that we were doing, we started having a lot of trouble with Facebook. So I went to my husband, this is his zone of genius. He's been a programmer for 30 plus years. And I said, I need you to create me a platform that I can move all my doTERRA events to, because Facebook isn't working for us anymore. And Teachable and Thinkific are great for static classes, but they don't work when you're wanting to create a tribe. And one thing I feel is very powerful when you're running events in doTERRA is creating your tribe, right? Creating your community so that people see other people using the oils and they start to develop those connections and friendships, which I love. And so there wasn't a platform that did that. And so I went to him and said, I need you to create me a platform. And here's some of the features of My Event Cafe that to me were critical. We had to have notifications to where we could bring people to the event, right? People are already on Facebook. They're already getting notifications. So I foresaw that as a problem that we were going to have. So we've built in 3 different types of notifications. People get a daily reminder every day that the event's happening. So they have a link that takes them directly there first thing every morning. They get notifications anytime they're mentioned or replied, just like Facebook, which is awesome, right? So if somebody tags you or comments, they're going to get a notification via text or email. And then I can also send out broadcast messages to everybody. So that was an important piece that had to be implemented. We had to have reusable templates so that everything just dripped for me. I got really frustrated with having to constantly, I know you guys have felt my pain in this, copy and paste, constantly copying and pasting, and having to do that every month that I wanted to run an event. So that was a really important piece. Now I can schedule my events in 30 seconds. Once my template or my blueprint of my event, whether we're talking about Oil Camp or oil studies or classes you get from Essential Oil Academy, once that template is in place, I can schedule events over and over, literally within 30 seconds. It can be done. We have built in activity reporting. So if you give away prizes in your events and you need to know how many times somebody commented or how many activities they completed, you're going to be able to do that like literally within a minute. We give you a download of all of those reports. And so go ahead.
No, I was just thinking, wow, because I know that when I run prize, events on Facebook, I literally had to the last time get one of me, because I had just had my baby, and I remember just messaging one of my girls being like, can you please go through over the last 5 days and write down the name of every single person on every single post so I can give out a prize. So you actually provide all of that.
Yes. We give you the ability to download a report that tells you how many activities they completed, how many times they commented, what percentage they completed.
Now, everything. Like, is it an app on your phone?
It is a website, but it works very well on the phone because we recognize a lot of people are doing these events on their phone. So eventually there will be an app with it, but that's pretty far down the road. So right now it is a website, but it works beautifully on your phone because most people, they'll get that text and they'll just click on the daily reminder and go straight and work it on their phone, which is
okay. So it's like a cloud-based, so it's a website that they would log into. So if you are running a class on this and you invite people to come to your class on the platform My Event Cafe, the individual who is being invited, if they have agreed to go to the class, they're going to get a text message reminder, and they can just click in the text message and it will open up.
Takes them right to that day's activities, which is because I knew that people are already on Facebook. I needed a way to drive people to my event cafe. So every morning, and the great thing is you can customize it. So you can make, like sometimes in my oil camps, I'll be like, we're so excited today, we're going to learn about peppermint, or we're going to learn about this part of the cleanse. And then there's a link and that takes them to that exact day's activities. So it makes it had to be easy, and I had to have a way to drive people back to the events. That was key, number one, to make a platform like this work.
Yeah. Okay, great. Now you have a 30-day trial. I'm actually going to just put it here in the comments, guys, so you can see it right there.
That was one of my really big passions was this had to be affordable for all ranks. I see a lot of things, out there that might somewhat work, but they're like $100 a month. And come on, even as a diamond, I don't want to pay $100 a month. So I was super, super passionate that it had to be affordable for all ranks. So we do offer a 30-day free trial, and then we offer a $10 a month plan to get you started. There are plans if you're a higher rank and maybe need to have more templates, but coming in at the $10 plan makes it affordable for everybody. And then we launched a new feature, actually just went live on Monday, that people are able to buy templates. So we have a purchase template section. And if you're a content creator that creates classes and you want to sell it, that's an option as well. So super excited about that piece launching.
That is super cool. So, what kind of things can they run in here? Just any type of event, right?
Any type of event. Yeah. So oil camps, we have a lot of people running oil camps. A lot of people are doing essential oil studies. So if you guys are familiar with Elise Shedeby, then she's got the essential oil studies. So they're running their studies in there. Anything from, the essential oil, have a lot of people doing the Essential Oil Academy classes. A lot of people are creating their own templates. We've got people creating their own intro templates, or, a template on, the cleanse. We have we've been running our cleanses in there for a year now, and it's amazing. It's a 30-day event. And so that content every day, that we have set in the template, it drops every night at midnight for the day, and boom, we don't have to do anything, but we just go in there and support our customers and coach them. So it has saved me hours upon hours in my business each month from not having to run these events manually.
I love it. And so at the low end, you can get in for $10 a month after the 30-day trial.
Yeah, so you get the 30-day trial. We're running an event starting every Monday. The first one will start on January 25th, so next Monday. That might be the link that you actually had. And what that's going to do is you can join this free event, and it's going to give you the experience of my event cafe from a customer's point of view. So somebody that you're putting into the event, right? So you'll be a participant in this event, and we are going to walk through this 4-day event, and we're going to walk you through how to set up templates, how to schedule events, and why my event cafe can be so amazing for your business.
Very cool. And I guess my last question of thinking this is, is this a tribe focus in the sense that, people can post questions like oil protocol related questions like, hey, my son has this, what oil would you recommend? So can you use it essentially like our education group is being used right now, where posts can go in and you can tag people?
So that is a great question. It is not a group. So it's different from like what you would do in a Facebook group. It is strictly an event, and it's a social learning event. So when you have the post, come up for the event, your customers, participants can post pictures, they can post comments under each of your activities, if that makes sense. Okay. So yeah, think more event than group, but it does bring in that community piece where you're able to get to know each other, comment back and forth, tag each other just like you would in Facebook.
Okay, awesome. So I'm just going to go here to a few of the questions, and I'm just going to post again. The link that I'm posting is the one that the event that you're running on Monday, correct? Mm-hmm. And then they sign up on myeventcafe.com for a 30-day trial. But this is the event you're running on Monday to show them what it would look like from the customer perspective. And if we miss any questions, don't worry, guys, because Rebecca can go back into the group after we end and go back and respond, comment. So we just did have a question is, so does the class that the event you're teaching is on the platform, is on myeventcafe.com?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So it's being taught actually on there. That's where the class would happen. And someone is asking, how do we sign up for the 4-day event? So I think I actually just dropped that comment again. And no, so it's not done on Facebook. It's done on myeventcafe.com. Someone's just asking, so, and I'm saying someone because it's saying Facebook users, but if I can get some actual names if I go to Facebook here. Some things, okay, so Stacy's asking, so some things can be a month long like a cleanse and others can be just a class. Then you can create a new one after that one, correct?
That is correct. So what you do is you build your template. So let's say you have a cleanse camp template that's 30 days. And every time you want to run that cleanse camp, you don't have to copy and paste anymore. You literally in 30 seconds go and schedule the event. So you could be running 6 cleanse events at one time off of that one template. So once you have your blueprint done, then all you're doing is scheduling events. And you can schedule, we have people that schedule events out for the entire year. If they're running it every month, they go and schedule the entire year out, and then they don't have to do anything. And we have lots of great features like customized email when people register, and many different things that you're going to see. So this event, this 4-day event, is going to be literally you getting to experience how My Event Cafe works for your customers as you learn how to do all of these things.
Okay, very cool. Very cool. Okay, that's awesome. And guys, if you have any more questions, just pop them into the comments. Rebecca, you're in our collective, correct?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So just tag Rebecca and just tag her name, Rebecca Peterson. Just tag her in the questions, but she'll keep an eye on the thread. So as questions come in, she can answer your questions. Sign up for the 30-day free trial. Sign up for the 4-day event that's happening so you guys can see how this will work for your business. And the 4-day kind of, to take a peek at how this looks, it starts on Monday, correct?
That is correct. Monday the 25th, yes. And if anybody's watching this video at a later date, these will be run every single Monday throughout, until we don't run them anymore. So just contact me and we'll have an event you can go into if you missed the first one.
Awesome. We've got some people super excited. Jenna's excited, got her brain working on all the possibilities for this. Brenda's just asking, how long each day will these go for?
So this is the great thing that people go at their own pace. So the content drops, like in my case, I'm on the East Coast, so it'll drop at midnight. So when you get your text in the morning, all the content for that day will already be posted. Future days will not be posted. So it'll just be for that day. And then you choose, I have some people that leave activity, their place, their events open for weeks so people can go back in if they want, or you can deactivate them. But yeah, does that answer her question?
Now, can you go live on this where people can be watching you live and comment and all that fun stuff? Or no?
That is in a future update. I want that, but you can put videos in. So you can put videos and graphics and all of that. So what I do if I want to go live is I'll put a video in, or if I want people to make sure they see the video, I'll drop the video in, and then I will go do a broadcast message and say, oh my gosh, you guys are going to want to see this video I just added, check it out. And I'll put the link for that activity, and then I'll be there as people comment.
Okay. All right. Okay. Very cool. So it is essentially like a group, because in the sense you can post a graphic, people can comment. Mm-hmm. You can post a video, people can comment. So where would be the differentiating factor? Is that your audience can't post? Would that be the big?
Correct. Your audience can't post. It is you dripping comment, and then they're able to communicate with you on that, just like Facebook, but they're not able to post.
Got it.
Comments. And then the other aspect is we do limit how many people can be in an event depending on what tier plan you put on. And so, some people have really large groups that wouldn't work for that.
Right. And so Giselle's asking, can you use this to teach online classes? Of course, you just would pre-teach the class, pre-record it. Yep. Pop it in there. The event is happening at such and such a time. They get a reminder, today's Essential Oils 101 class just dropped. Here's the link. They would click the link in their text message. It would pull up My Event Cafe. Then they could watch the 101 class.
Absolutely.
You could just basically be recycling. You could film the class once and recycle.
Yes. You know, that's another tip I always tell my team is the KISS. Keep it super simple. Like you got to keep everything simple. And this makes it so easy because once you have your class template done, then all the work's done. You're just running it however often you want to run it.
Yeah. And if you have a website, can this platform be linked to it?
Not at this time that I know of, but I will talk to the developer. So you can put the link in your website, but I would have to ask the developer more information on that, but not at this time.
Okay, sounds good. And we'll ask this one last question. Is Oil Camp considered one event, or is that a recurring event?
So Oil Camp is your template. So the tier is determined by how many templates you have. So if you have Oil Camp, because Jenna has actually, so if you have Oil Camp, she's actually taken Oil Camp and completely updated it to fit My Event Cafe because there was so much trouble on Facebook. So everything's revamped for My Event Cafe. So if you have Oil Camp 1, 2, and 3 and how to get the most out of your membership, you would want to go up to that next tier because it's based on templates, but you can run Oil Camp, 6 times a month if you want off that template. So we're not limiting how many events you can have. It limits how many templates you can have, if that makes sense.
All right. Okay, good. So they just head over to myeventcafe.com, snag the 30-day trial, sign up for the link that I've been posting throughout here. I'll just post it again. That gives you a sign up to do the 4-day. Here's what it looks like from the customer's perspective.
Right.
Okay, very cool. And then what I'll have you do, Rebecca, is just keep an eye on this thread because comments are going to keep flowing in, and that way you can respond and answer any questions that may happen. So guys, just keep your questions coming. Rebecca's going to follow them and make sure you guys have all the answers that you need. But I think this is super awesome and a really great tool for wellness advocates to help, again, make your business simple, streamlined, and staying a little bit two steps ahead of the game in case something happens with Facebook or whatever. You want to have your stuff on another platform, especially because so many things are being censored, and a lot of natural health groups are being censored or kicked out right now, which I know it's super sad. And we've created these huge communities inside these spaces over years and years and years.
Right.
And I think it's smart to look for a platform where, we can still facilitate that. So I love it. That's awesome. Well, thank you guys all for being on here. We've had about 60 people live throughout this whole class, and we'll have a ton of people tuning in later. So just drop your hashtag replay and tag Rebecca if you have any questions. I love this. This is great. And people have a lot of time right now, right, to look into these new things, so we can get that all set up. So thank you guys for participating in this month's collective team call. Next month we have, let me just double check. I want to make sure I'm giving you the right person. Yes, we have Karina, one of my favorite people as well. And enough is also a midwife. She is a midwife in training in Oregon. So she's a blue diamond over there from the West Coast, will be joining us with her diamond tips and tricks next month, February, Tuesday, the 16th. It'll always be the third Tuesday of every month at noon Eastern Standard Time. So Rebecca Peterson, thank you so much. Thank you for coming on and sharing all this goodness. And I love the platform you've created. It's so awesome. And I didn't even know about it until we connected either. So I'm really excited to check it out too.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It has been an honor. I love you. I have followed you for a long time. Everybody in here already knows, but you're amazing. So keep being you. You are fabulous. And I love how you are just touching so many lives. So keep being you because you're awesome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Mwah, mwah. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in today, and good luck amplifying your businesses with this brand new platform of yours that I know is going to make a world of difference in terms of productivity.
Right.
All right, guys. We'll see you. Bye.
Thank you.